Yes, sir. We back. Shout out to everybody joining the live and all that. Rat this, rat that. Snitch this, snitch that. Informant this, informant that. Paperwork parties and all this type of stuff. Sometimes it's so much easier just being a civilian. Good day to be a civilian. We're going to walk today. Y'all see the title. It says T-Top addresses Jakk'Boy or Jack and Newz. What is Jack's code? I'm going to break down that in detail. We're going to bring up some old footage. I'm going to bring up this interview clip from T-Top. Shout out to M3S3 and everybody over there. I'm going to have some questions for T-Top. I'm going to have some questions for Bad News or reaction to Bad News. I'm going to have a reaction and some questions for Jakk'Boy. We're going to walk through some history of all the occurrences that I could remember as far as paperwork or like ratting allegations in battle rap. We're going to walk through all of them. We're going to compare some of them. We're going to try to correlate all of this. Bear with me. And y'all see the thumbnail, it says full episode, right? So we're going to do some other topics. But because we're leading with battle rap, we're going to go live here on the RBE channel. But after we're done with this topic that we leading with, I'm going to go to all four suspects. Y'all got hit with life, and I want to see what y'all said in court. And then we're going to do some reaction to that when it comes to the Julio Foolio murder. All right, so we got that's pretty much wrapped up at this point. We're going to pull up those videos. After that, we're going to go to Plaqboy Max. We'll get there. And we're going to go to Jay-Z. We're going to go to Jay-Z. All right, we'll close out there. But shout out to everybody coming in. Shout out to all the members. Shout out to everybody in the live. Let's start the work. All right. Once again, shout out to T-Top. Shout out to Jakk'Boy. And shout out to Bad News. But, oh, yeah, quick one. Real quick one. People, I told y'all my stream like yesterday or the day before. I said, y'all might get another diss track or something. It was just a guess. All right. And then y'all look up and y'all see this on Twitter. Look at this. It's already got 12,000 views on this. What is this? Hitman Holla. Overly loaded. Loaded Lux diss. So it ain't over, huh? Today? Tomorrow? This week? Pump fake? I don't know. To be continued. Y'all got to listen to me sometimes, man. You just never know. All right, let's get into the main topic. That's going to stir up a lot of shit. But let's get into the main topic. All right, top is on you. And once again, shout out to M3S3 with the interview. Let's see what's going on with this.
So I knew like the day I was going out there that he was gonna be there or whatever. So when he got there, whatever, I mean, I don't know. I got there St. Louis Saturday, whatever. He was doing what he was doing. I ain't see him until Sunday to the battle. So
right.
He came to the battle, he popped up at the event. And you know, he was just like, yo, your man's inside? I'm like, who?
Right.
He said, nigga. I said, oh, shit, here come the bullshit. Here come the bullshit right here, right? Because I ain't thinking about that shit, especially not with Jack. I'm like, shit, they be chilling. I was with Jack all weekend, you know what I'm saying?
You knew Jack was on the court, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
All right, so nothing clicked in T-Top when Newz said he was coming.
No, nigga, I'm on a flight. I'm about to get out there. What the fuck? Hell no.
I'm just saying, like, you know.
But there's another question, too. Bad News knows that he knows who's on the card. If he's pulling up just to, you know, spectate or hang out or get on the scene and be outside, right? Pull up at an event, watch some battles. He knows who's on the card, right? Forget T-Top. I mean, Bad News got to know the fucking card. So that's on him. You know what I mean? Like, let's not try to act like this is on T-Top for him to remember what everybody got going on. As he starts to mention here, he's focused on some other shit. But I ain't gonna lie, if it was me, I probably would have thought about it like, yo, you know, such and such, right? You know, I've been in the middle of so many battlers and even bloggers where it's just like, damn, I know you don't get along and you don't get along. So let me put in a call. The very last joint, I had Cassidy hosting the battles, right? Shout out to Cass. So what do? I tap in with John because John's my guy. And he normally pulls up at RBE events to show love and to hang out. I tap in. You know what I mean? I make sure I keep these guys separated. You know what I mean? It could be Rosenberg Raw on a card. Well, Bonnie, I tap in with both, speak to people. It'd be this blogger and that battle rapper that don't get along. You know what I'm saying? So this shit happens, you know, very, very frequently. And this is why we got to be glad. Let's be positive that things don't go left. But this ain't one of those like, oh shit, there that nigga go right there. No, Newz, no, he gotta know that Jackboy's on the card and he going over there, right? So, all right, let's continue.
No, bro. I've been on multiple cars with Jackboy since that happened. I've been in cars.
You know what? So what you trying to say? You know what?
So
Did you know both of them was gonna be in the same place? Is what I'm saying.
I just told you what I knew. Saturday, when I'm at the airport about to fly out, he's at the airport in whatever state he was at, and he was like, "Yo, I'm out there. I'm coming out there." I'm like, "Oh shit, all right, bet."
So at that point, did you expect?
No, bro. I'm not thinking about fucking Jack'Boy Maine. I'm trying to memorize my raps. I just wrote the motherfucker right now. I just wrote the motherfucker. I'm in the airport. Yo, when the shotty
Right, this right.
fucking think about no other shit, bro. I ain't think about it. Look, I'm gonna keep it a Beanie Siegel.
That's what happened with me, Holla and Verb. Holla over here worried about promoting his fucking mixtape or his EP and all that. Not even remembering you didn't invited me and Verb to the same fucking place. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta like believe in what T-Top is saying here. People would be in their own fucking worlds, man. They can't be responsible for always keep. Now there is an element of like, nigga, stay sharp, especially if we team like that. Stay sharp. You know what I'm saying? But people do sometimes, you know, shit be slipping, especially if a lot of time has passed. This bad news and Jackboy shit, especially based on a video that I just pulled up, it feels like the shit was recent. The shit is over a year ago, I think, y'all, as far as like the back and forth or bad news and people trying to bring out paperwork and calling him out of his name and, you know, then his battle with the Av. This is all like a year ago, people. So, you know, time definitely is going to make people slip the thought.
How many rounds was it?
It was one, but I'm trying to figure it out. So look, boom, Saturday when I get to St. Louis and shit, I'm there. Newz had called me. He was chilling with Green Ranger. You know what I'm saying? Riso Wells. He was chilling with Green Ranger shit. They was like, yo, we streaming and shit like that. I'm like, yo, we about to go to the club. I'm about to go to the club. So I ain't see him that day because I ain't going to do the stream with Green Ranger that day.
Right.
So he pulled up the next day at the battle. And when he said that, I'm like, oh shit, here we go. I'm like, yo, boy. And you know, I got a certain love for Newz, bro.
Facts.
So I told him, and this is a real conversation I had with him at the venue. You know what I mean? I'm like, I see it in your face, bro. I know Newz like the back of my hand.
He was on it.
I seen his face. I said, bro, you gotta, and we know Jack ain't no bitch. We know that. Yeah. But I'm like, this is just me talking to Newz. I'm like, dog, you're gonna have to make a decision because he wants to be, he want to battle and he want to do this. I'm like, you got to choose if you want revenge or want your career back. And it's gonna have to be a grown man decision that you gotta make within the next 20 minutes.
Hell yeah.
You're gonna have to make that decision. It's a
lot to drop on his desk, boy.
He's dropping this on my desk.
He came there.
I'm out here, I'm out here chilling with Jack. Then you pop brothers, it might seem like T-Top. I got a lot on my plate.
Damn, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
I was saying that though.
Oh, that's why you were saying that? Oh, no.
It's gonna be looked at.
Yeah, it could be, but fuck no. Hell no. So boom. So I'm like, yo, you got a grown man decision to make, like right now, bro. You gotta know if you want revenge, whatever. He like, bro, I do want to get the fight out the way. I want to fight him. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, well, you know what I'm saying? You have to talk to that man or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I'm telling you, like, if you get out here and you act crazy right now, you cause the scene right now, you kiss that career shit goodbye. You kiss that shit goodbye. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be too much for somebody to want to work with you. You know what I'm saying? And Newz got the utmost respect for me. So he like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I didn't want to force him to make a decision because anyway, my mind wasn't on that. Like even while they having the whole conversation, I'm walking around. I'm circling them, looking at my rhymes the whole time. Like I just didn't want to crowd around, let them talk and let them, you know what I'm saying, get whatever off their chest that they want to get off their chest. Yeah. So the fucking battle in the day could continue. That was my goal. Yeah. So they talked, they had a conversation. They talked for a long time. It was a long time. It was intense. It was I mean, I feel like that little 10-second, 20-second clip y'all seen, that might have been a calmer part of the conversation, but it was intense. I ain't saying like niggas just yelling at each other, but it was serious. It was serious. You know what I'm saying?
Like he was done with his part. That's what it looked like.
Yeah. They was being respectful, letting each other get they shit off or whatever. And Jack wasn't backing down. Newz wasn't backing down. It was just one of those. It was like, how we gonna handle this? You know what I'm saying? I know Jack like, nigga, I know what you mad at. You know what I'm saying? And Newz like, nigga, you know I'm mad, nigga. Right. So it was like one of those shits. But the conversation was a long conversation. It was intense. It was much needed.
It didn't go past conversation.
No, man. No. I think they agreed to settle their differences on the way that we should agree to settle our differences in this culture.
A battle.
Yeah.
Okay, so is this a battle that you?
Hey man, hey papa, hey, my friend, hey papa.
T-Top, this is a battle you trying to put together?
Nah, I would love to have that battle on my platform.
Drop?
Yeah, I would love to have that battle on Straight Drop Media.
So this
Okay,
battle-
hold on. Is this a battle that you've talked to both parties?
Yeah, I
about?
talked to both parties. I'm
both
there,
parties
right
okay?
then, right then. I told them on
And
the
they were
spot.
like, let's do it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
okay.
happening.
Hey man,
All you gotta do is do it. All you
Papa.
gotta do is book it,
You
right?
know what I mean? Are they battling for free? Nah, just bullshit. But yeah, so I think that's something that we definitely planning on putting together.
Fire.
Whenever whatever the stars align, but it's something that they both want to do and they're willing to do, and whatever situations or whatever feeling that they got towards each other come out in the ring. You know what I'm saying? Whatever they got to say to each other on that level.
One thing with you is you've never shied away from really showing, that Bad Newz is your friend, right?
Yeah.
And you salute, you hold him down, shit like that. Have you ever received any backlash
Of course,
from that?
of course, bro. Till this day, I do.
Not from fans, from people in the culture? Or just
Nah.
fans, just fans comments?
It'll be fans and comments and shit like that, and but yeah, nothing like in my real life
Okay.
or like the battle
That's
rappers
how
I
I
fuck
usually-
with. Seriously, nah.
What's his mindset nowadays? Is he tapped into the culture? Is Bad Newz still tapped in?
Yeah, he
He's
tapped
watching everything. He's
Yeah.
seeing everything going on.
Yeah, he see what's going on.
Oh,
He
so
see
he
what's
got
going
some
on.
fire shit.
You know, I'm gonna start there with Fred. Then I'm gonna go to T-Top. Then I'm gonna go to Bad Newz. Then I'm gonna go to Jackboy in the title. Okay. Shout out to Fred. Fred, you be doing some amazing interviews, and you invest in, your platform to where you're getting the people that we want to see with topics that we want to hear in a timely manner, especially controversial ones. And I must salute you for that, Fred. So thank you for giving us the content, giving us these interviews. But there is one question right there, and it seemed like you was opening up the box and then y'all veered off somewhere else. And I think it could have still been asked while maintaining the utmost respect for T-Top, because the thought spins in my mind with the question that Fred asked right there. He says, do you get any backlash from the culture for Bad Newz being your friend? T-Top says, nah, he might get some comments, maybe fan stuff, little tweet or something like that, but like not the battlers or league or nothing like that. He never got that. The only question after that would then be based on this topic that I'm doing here and Bad Newz, as well as the people around him. I'm even going to do a John mention in here. Give me a second. And the people around Bad Newz is, what do you people around him that are his friends and support, y'all may know more than the rest of us. What is y'all position on what Jackboy brought to the public, which was the Bad Newz paperwork? That was Fred asked the perfect question to then ask that question after, and it would have been all respectful. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so now as I move on to T-Top, right? Let me start with the actual battle. I said it before and I'll say it again. I stand on that. It would be one of my most anticipated battles to see in 2026. Why? Because of the grudge and the real nature of it. We like real grudge matches, and we like things that have like that level of authenticity to it. And this is a real street situation. Okay, like Bad Newz, street guy, right? Jakk'Boy Maine, street guy, right? Snitching, rat accusations and all that, paperwork, being called out your name. As T-Top said, yo, I'm mad at you. I know why you mad, but they have that issue. They have something between them that people go to hell and back for in the streets over, which is those type of accusations. One person staying on a code, one person saying it, whatever. And they ended up being in the same place behind it. So T-Top putting that battle together, it would be one of the most grudge and reality-based matchups of 2026. I promise you could have my money. You know what I'm saying? You got my $50. I want to see how that would turn out. Especially, I'm very, very supportive of closure in rap. Obviously, I'm Mr. Closure shit. I'm very, very supportive of that, and I'm glad that these two brothers didn't have a physical altercation when they crossed paths. Okay, once again. But T-Top, that secondary or follow-up question that Fred opened up a little bit is, where do people stand? Or do y'all know more than what has been kind of generally spread through the battle rap culture when it comes, because maybe y'all could help him. For example, even when bloggers have certain information or narratives, they could damn near save your career or they can crush it. Let me use Piper Boy, for example. Piper Boy probably, alongside with Jack'Boy, might have done the most damage to Bad News. Respectfully. Piper Boy got a platform, man. He got a voice. Those intros that he did in like 50 different videos and never let people forget about it. It continued to, right, on Bad News, right? I really would say Jack'Boy and Piper Boy probably hurt Bad News the most as far as the spreading and putting those beliefs and standing on what they feel towards that Bad News situation, right? So where does T-Top stand? Because T-Top, in my understanding, is a street guy too. A street guy is supposed to remove themselves from certain situations or certain type of status, right? So T-Top must believe that everything is okay with Bad News or the paperwork or this or this. You might as well, because if people are going to ask that, it's the same box that Fred just tried to open up when he says, do you get backlash for being Bad News friend? They do it all the time. Yo, Big K standing right in front of me. Yo, ARP, you want to read this paperwork? I'm like, oh shit, I'm hosting this battle right now. What the fuck? That's how that shit really goes. Okay. So aside from the battle happening, at some point, I wouldn't mind if T-Top ever, and I'm not saying, I don't want to put that on his shoulder. Like, yo, you address Bad News his own man. You know what I'm saying? Jack'Boy's his own man. I don't even want to come off like that. Like, yo T-Top, you should enlighten us. But I'm just saying, you getting interviewed about a question like that, that then draws the question. Okay. Now let's move to you know what? Let me put John in that spot right there real quick. Now, shout out to John. And I'm not putting no bars or no words in John, but didn't John even have like bars kind of separating himself from Bad News and Clone? Because remember, there was the whole thing like, damn, what's going on with the bullpen battle rappers and all that, right? And I think respectfully, John, I remember him having like some bars that kind of was like, you know, I don't want to say he dissed Clone in Bad News, but it was like the next John battle. Everybody knows that his opponent is going to say these things towards him. And I think he had like a bar somewhere in one of his recent battles or his last battles that kind of deflected away from his position with them. You know, and I haven't seen anything between like a John and a Clone and a Bad, like, because we looked at them as team as well. The same way T-Top says in this interview, like, yo, Bad News is like, we have a certain caliber of relationship. So people will always do that. They will look at not just the person that has the accusations or is going through hell in the media. They're going to look at the people around you too. They've done it to me a million times. I did a whole blog when I was talking about the Jack'Boy and show off stuff. We'll get there. And I said, yo, I'm tired of this person or this blog or that person over there. And they got to be like, yo, ARP, that shit, man. Like, league owners will go up to champion and do that, like, because this battle rapper is going through something. It's just like, yo, like, hold on. I'm not niggas' fathers. You know what I'm saying? Ask me if I agree with what's in the paperwork, or ask me if I agree with what he said or what he did. And I'll answer that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll answer that, but don't fucking, you know what I'm saying? But anyway. So the people around such heavy controversy are always going to get some type of effect. And that's why Fred asked that question. Now let's go to Bad News. That was a very, very smart and mature thing for T-Top to say to Bad News. Hey, within the next 20 minutes, you're going to have to decide whether you want your career or whether you want your revenge. T-Top used the word revenge. He said he looked like he wanted revenge. Okay. So to say this directly to a Bad News now, and I think I'm already on the record in past videos saying this, and I'll say it again. Bad News, you can't have it your way as far as what the battle rappers say to you on stage. That's just not how this thing is supposed to go. There is a real life element to battle rap. Damn, who did a recent interview that said, yo, who are we kidding? battle rappers still say how they really feel on stage. Like they'll get right in your face. You was a dick, you know, and you could tell they mean it, but they know they could say it and it's only gonna stay at a rap level on stage. But you know they mean it. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody try to tell me that Tay Rock didn't mean his Kid Slade round, accusing him of being that, right? He didn't mean that. So I look at it, I looked at that time, and I think that was with A-Ward, right? And I was just like, yo, Newz, respectfully, man, like I can't tell Newz what to do. You know what I'm saying? Unless he's on RBE. You know what I'm saying? If you sign a contract, whatever, like that's between, but respectfully, like that's not how battle rap goes. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know who's going for that if it comes off on some bully type shit. Like, yo, after this Av battle, I'm telling you right now, nobody can say that shit to me. It's like, this is battle rap. Even A-Ward was like standing firm on that too, right? Like, you can't just tell me not to rap certain angles. Like that's not how this goes. Or don't take the battle. And that's one thing that I respect a T-Top saying to Bad News. And that's one thing that Bad News, if he wants to do the Jackboy battle or battle anybody going forward, come back into the culture, anybody, go for Audible, go for any clone. You got to realize that you're putting yourself, this is the accountability part, you're putting yourself in a possible tense situation. You're putting yourself, you are taking a contract or a check or opportunity or a matchup, and you're putting yourself in a situation in front of fans, in front of people, in front of your fan base, in front of your family, whoever, your peoples that could be liable, standing on stage behind you, get into it and end up in jail that same night too. These things go a million different ways, but you have to be accountable, knowing from a premeditated standpoint, you know what you're walking into. You're walking into a rap battle where we've seen everything fly. And if this person stands in front of you and wants to pull a Tay Rock versus Kid Slade round on you, or Big K versus Adi Boom round on you, or that's so be it. And you have until it's your turn to rap. You're putting yourself, now sooner or later, somebody's gonna tweak a nerve, and you have to have the skin for it, or you have to be a guy like where it's just like, yo, the culture is playing with my name in a way that I can't go for, so I can't put myself in that spot. You know what I'm saying? Like bad. This goes for Bad News or any battle rapper. Respectfully, you can't go Marlo. Like you want it one way. Like no, you can't have it like that in battle rap. You know what I'm saying? So somebody's gonna test you. Somebody's gonna say what's on their mind, or somebody's gonna just even if they don't believe that you right or you wrong, they're gonna use it as an angle. This is battle rap. So don't put yourself in that position if you're not ready to be professional and deal with whatever bars come in your direction, whether you agree with them or disagree with them. Okay. Especially if you ain't just punched Jack'Boy Maine in the face just now. If you and Jack'Boy was able to talk, and he is probably the ringleader of all of that coming to the culture, then you got to let A-Ward say whatever the fuck. Sorry, it's true type shit, right? Respectfully, I want to see the battle. So, you know what I mean? All right, let's go to Jack'Boy now. Let's go to Jack'Boy. You see the title says in it, what is Jack's code? Shout out to Jack. Shout out to Jack. You know what I'm saying? Jack, cool guy, man. You know I'm saying? Jack, cool guy. I don't got no issue with Jack at all, man. Shout out to him. Jack, a street guy, as far as I know, right? I mean, he even took the C out of his name. No. You rep what you rep. You flag, right? You carry certain codes. Jack'Boy has a reputation, damn near in battle rap. I said this before sarcastically, but with a lot of truth and jest, that he's like the 1090 Jake sometimes in battle rap, right? The paperwork and the codes and the more, even in that face off with Bad News and that video that goes around the culture, he says, but I live by a certain code, right? So then I asked the question, Jack, can you even do the battle if it's code this, code that? I'm curious. So just a rehash, because you guys obviously will paint the battle in this respect, right? This is the narrative. This is even promo, to be honest, right now, if you guys are going to do it, right? But this video is like a year ago.
Damn. Fuck. All right, I got it, y'all. Once familiar with the investigation of the suspect at the time, the photo lineup was given to Antoine Ragland. Antoine Ragland identified picture number 4 from the photo lineup at a certainty of 100% of who shot and robbed him. Picture number 4 of the photo lineup was Calvin Wise Grant. After completion of the photo lineup, Antoine Ragland approached me outside and said, "Picture number 4 shot me." The case was closed/cleared by the arrest of Calvin Wise Grant. So, ladies and gentlemen, why is it come on, Jack? Why? Briz. No, you're not saying come on, Jack. I know you're not saying come on, Jack. Come on, big bro. Come on, big bro. Come on, big bro. Come on, big bro. I know. Come on, big bro. I know.
You know what? It's how long of a video? 34 minutes. I don't have to play too much of it, right? I'm just reminding myself, and like you were the ringleader there, G. You were the ringleader of this. So the question becomes, where do you stand today? Do you have a change of opinion? Do you retract videos and the tweets and your position? Do you feel like bad news is 100% good? Where do you stand? Did you change how you felt when y'all had that intense conversation? Right? Because I don't got to stick up for Show Off. Show Off is his own man, and Jackboy and Show Off, not only did they battle, similar thing, right? Calling somebody out their name or whatever, create a battle. And that's why I'm endorsing Jackboy versus Bad News. It just happened with Jackboy in his last matchup versus Show Off, right? I don't gotta speak for Show Off. They just seen each other. They just had their conversations. They just was checking each other on social media. They just battled face to face. I don't gotta stick up for Show Off. Show Off is his own man. He sticks up for himself, right? But speaking of before y'all battled and all the code talk, Jack, that was your big thing with Show 2. Code. You're a rat because you record phone calls, or you said that you recorded a phone call, and that's rat behavior, and that's a different conversation. Like, I stick more to the real ratting and informing, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I separate it from what people would say maybe rat or turncoat behavior. You could say that. I don't call people rats that recorded phone calls. There's some of the most prominent figures and names in battle rap that are certified and solid people that have recorded phone calls. Okay. And I know that for a fact. Okay. So I don't do that. I don't call people rats because I treat the rat shit along with that other side of the gate. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, you just had all that strong position that you were taking leading up to the Show Off battle. It was all about code. Even DNA, who's not a street guy, who don't got to take the C out of his name. I know it's only DNA, but who's not a street guy, who people get at and say, you ain't never been outside, like Jay Mills. That song played on the fucking radio. And y'all still talk about DNA for clapping the machete, right? Not a street guy, right? DNA. Even he said, I'm cool just on how I feel about the Adi Boom battle. He backed off of it. He said, I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? So what's the code, Jack? What's the code? Because now, if you take that battle, I wonder what is your line of when you really feel somebody, from what your own words are, is a rat or violated code, and you are a street nigga. I'm curious about that. Does battle rap allow us to turn off and turn on the code? Or does a check allow us to turn off and turn on the code? It gave me the thought, you know what I'm saying, about the battle. I support the battle. I want to see the battle. But it made me think of, all right, well, T-Top taking that position, that means he's good with Newz. Bad News, he has to accept accountability and that risk factor of staying professional in the midst of possible disrespect. And Jackboy, you have to possibly erase some of the code that you have developed a reputation for standing on. That's the way I started to see those three pieces. And I was just like, interesting. Now I really want to see the battle. So we shall see. Now, past that battle, now just staying in the realm of this stuff happening in battle rap, and we see how it goes. We see the different reactions. So I already mentioned Tay Rock and Kid Slade. Tay Rock went all out with that round with Kid Slade, and that wasn't battle rap to me. He meant those things. He was trying to get Kid Slade out of there. He was trying to all out expose Kid Slade on a URL stage. And some say the Piper Boys of the world saved Kid Slade. And I don't even remember all the details of Kid Slade's case or his paperwork. I really don't. I just remember there was a time where it looked very, very nasty. And then there was a time after that where bloggers was just like, nah, he's good money. That's all I really remember. You know what I'm saying? The Adi Boom one is very obvious. You know what I'm saying? That's probably the most or the biggest example. I mean, it's fresh home, first battle back. Nobody knows. It's not like this situation with Bad News and Jackboy where everybody shows up, or Bad News and Av, everybody's showing up waiting for the angle. We all show up like, welcome home, Adi Boom, let's get it. The name of the card is the Get Back. And then Big K pulls out some paperwork in the first round. He's got everybody like, the fuck is going on? Are we dreaming? You know what I'm saying? That's like the most bugged out one. You know what I'm saying? But the reaction to that, once that snowball got big enough and enough of that paperwork went around, enough people read it and digested it, you know, and then his interviews didn't help himself at all in 15 Minutes of Fame, boom, then that was it. You know, I think he had like a battle or two after that, like one was like a virtual battle or something like that, and then that was it. And I always give Adi Boom the credit. I always say he smartly removed himself, because Adi Boom, first of all, Adi Boom's that young kid who punched somebody in their face. You know what I'm saying? Like, Adi Boom wasn't walking around as no punk. You know what I'm saying? Like, real shit. But the same advice that I give for Bad News, it goes for Adi Boom. They're gonna play with you, and you're gonna fuck around and violate yourself. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna walk up and Boom even he said, all right, well, I didn't hit K, but I'm gonna fuck around and make an example out of the next person. That's what Boom said. And you fuck around and do that, you never know. Your team jumps somebody, their team, knives, guns, this, that, violation of parole or charges, somebody get hurt too bad, somebody lose. You know what I'm saying? Like, you putting yourself in. That's the same advice I'm giving for Newz, and the same thing go for Boom. But Boom was the strongest in the manner of all these examples, where he totally removed himself and he said goodbye about it, and nobody has heard from him since. You know what I'm saying? Say, y'all can have it. I'm not putting myself around that energy. I think that's a smart thing that young man did for himself, regardless of how he feels about the situation. He could feel that he's totally in the right, but it was smart based on the culture's reaction to remove yourself from that. Okay, you got Clone. Clone did battles after that video came out. Piper Boy's another ringleader. Every intro he's got Clone. He's like, shit. You know what I'm saying? The culture reacted how they reacted. Pretty much they sided on this is wrong. Like I said, is from my outside looking in, the Johns of the world, you know, stepped away. It looked like, you know what I'm saying? It didn't look good. And I think one of the last comments that I remember seeing Clone make publicly was something like, oh, they trying to get me violated, something like that. He was just like, yo, y'all got it. And it's just like, that's another thing of the culture is showing things and doing things. The battle rappers might say things, the bloggers might say things, the fans might say, somebody throw something on the stage from the back of the crowd, and now you're in a liable situation. You know what I'm saying? So Clone said, y'all got it. I mean, since then, I've seen him drop a couple songs, some music here and there, and then pretty much haven't heard too much after that. So what? That's the Boom, you know, the Slade one, as I remember, the Clone, the Bad News. Hell, like a month before, 2 months before Surf came home, his paperwork started going all over. It was the biggest topic in the entire culture, right? should surf and math really battle? We all want to see it. We would all eat our popcorn, right? When I say we all want to see it, I mean like, everybody's gonna, whether you pay for it or not, you're gonna click play on that bitch. Cut it the fuck out. You want to see what happened. But when they ask Surf in the Spaces about math, he kind of like, right? Which I think was a very smart way to like just sidestep away from it, because math he's got his background, and Surf is a street guy. Those type of things sometimes can't just stay battle rap, so it's not the safest battle for both of those guys. To be real, it's not the safest battle. Reputation wise, street wise, all of that. Yeah, I mean, so those are the situations where paperwork has gone around and we see the aftermath of it. So bad news, man. Once again, I say this with respect. Like, yo, you gotta take accountability, knowing that they're gonna play with your name, unless you find a way to change the narrative. I'm just being real. You know what I'm saying? And Jack, you got some you got some positions to decide on as well. And T-Top, you sit back and you try to put together one of the most best or biggest grudge matches of 2026. How about that? Okay. So shout out to everybody. I'll leave it there. M3S3 is in the building. What's good, G? Of course, man. Shout out to you. Keep killing them with the great work, man. Real talk. Keep killing them with the great work, man. And we're gonna keep sharing, exchanging the content, covering each other's content and all that, man. Definitely. Oh, I see GT Foreman. Yes, I didn't mention that one. And yeah, I'll leave that one alone. Too. Fuck it. I swear to God, I really forgot about it. I was talking about the examples, and now that y'all put that one in the chat, I'm cool. Yeah, K was crazy, but all right. Let's move along real quick. All right, we're not gonna stay here too long. Like I said, this is a full episode, so I want to get some sorry as true topics off real quick. Right, we probably only gonna be here for like another 15-20 minutes. I promise y'all. I gotta skate through this because I gotta chat also, but we gotta touch on this. People. Speaking of you street niggas, people that want to take the C's out their name and all that. Nah, shout out to Jack. Listen, man, this is what happens. You got a life lost and 5 people in jail. Shorty, I forget what her sentence is, or if she's being retried. But anyway, as for the 4 main, Isaiah Chance, life in prison without the possibility of parole. Sean Gathright, life in prison without the possibility of parole. Davion Murphy, life in prison without the possibility of parole. Rashad Murphy, life in prison without the possibility of parole. And as for the 2 suspects, do we still call them suspects after judgment? They spoke out. So let's go to this one first. Davion Murphy, one of the men convicted in the murder of Julio Foolio, addressed the court before being sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. So it was already convicted, but now here they are speaking out before the judge hands down the sentence.
Different from us, to God be the glory all the time, and He'll never had a last whistle in our situation. As I said in my interrogation interview, I'll be judged for it, and I'll forever retain my innocence. And I just want to say to the Gen Z generation, change your life and do something productive with your life. Because in this predicament, it ain't worth it. And like it was said before, this is not my first rodeo down this road, so it's looking like forever. But I forever keep a positive mind state and a positive mindset. But to God be the glory forever. And that's it.
Thank you, Ms. Murphy.
Mind you, when you address the court before your sentence is handed down, you got one of 3 ways it's gonna go. You got people that are gonna fold into the absolute guilt of it, like, yo, I apologize, turn around, I'm sorry to the family, I wish things didn't go this way, yada yada, pretty much accepting all guilt, accepting it like it is what it is. I'm ready to go on with the rest of my life here in prison or whatever my term is. Then you got the people that's gonna just flat out still deny everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, I don't belong here. This is bullshit. You might throw a chair at the judge or some dead president shit, right? And he got the middle one, which is, you're folded, right? And you take that opportunity to hopefully address the court in a way that maybe, and it's a small chance, but maybe buys you a little bit of leniency with the judge. You know what I'm saying? Don't max me out, judge, please, because this was really a mistake. This was a passion, heat of the moment type of situation. The gun just fell on me, and then that type shit. So to get up there, and obviously he was nervous, but who wouldn't be nervous when you're about to get handed down a life sentence? You've already been convicted of murder. You know what I'm saying? But taking that opportunity to say, listen, God be the glory, doesn't really sound too convincing to me right there. As far as Gen Z, be careful, because I don't want y'all to fall into this. And I've been down this road before. What does that mean? You've been down this road before. You know what I'm saying? So you didn't even give the greatest message to the youngins coming behind you. And this was the same guy that the videos were going around during the trial of him laughing in court, laughing at certain moments and whatnot, laughing allegedly, I'll still say, at his co-defendants when his co-defendants were crying and during their convictions, he's sitting there laughing. So I didn't have high expectations for his, I guess, final addressing of the court. This one right here, though, from Isaiah Chance, this is the one that people's keying in a little bit more, though, because he definitely gave a whole all-out speech.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Okay. So, thank you. You are all right. So, Judge Cisco, unlike the rest of my co-defendants here, they all are charged with being the alleged shooters and have the same verdicts. However, me, on the other hand, the one who was charged with me for playing the same alleged role as I, gets found not guilty for what I am charged with. Alicia's case didn't contradict the alleged shooter versus the state case. I don't even think it's possible it could have. However, it contradicts mine being the only principle here, because both of our jury's decisions contradict each other. The only nuance here is I went to trial with 3 other people who have the same verdict as I, and she didn't. Alicia get found not guilty for my current charge. It wasn't a coincidence. Basically, what I'm saying is, Alicia, in the state alleged that we played. Oh, that's getting into like the facts about the case.
Well, that's okay. If I'm hearing you correctly, you are taking issue with the fact that I don't know if she's your current or former girlfriend, but she went to trial. She was convicted of a manslaughter and got 15 years, and now you're here facing life. And that, I would assume, that seems unjust to you. Is that correct?
That's highly unjust. I seen Susie Lopez on the news this morning, and she was saying that justice has been served. Absolutely, if you see it from that perspective. But everything that's a perspective is based off perception. So if you say that's justice, okay, but when you look at, if you put me and Alicia up on like side by side, that's unjust, like it's injustice, like it doesn't make sense, like it's contrary to my verdict. Like her jury made their decision, our jury made their decision, but it contradicts like both of our verdicts. The only difference is like I went to trial with my co-defendants and she went to trial by herself. So I feel like personally I got guilt more so by association than like participation. That's all I really wanted to say. Judge, sorry, because this is way more harder than I anticipated. But that's all. Thank you.
Sure. And you probably know when Miss Andrews went to trial, she basically pinned it all on you.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know. When as I sit with my lawyer, like he's very, like he's probably shivering over there because he don't know what
right.
I say out my mouth.
Right. He's very concerned.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of people don't know, but before you go to trial, you try to be optimistic, but everything is done strategically. So how the lawyers optimize what they're gonna say or what they're gonna do, they do it with the client. I'm not saying what she's saying was wrong or not wrong, or what he wanted her to say or what she said, but that's all though. I want to say something to like Jacksonville though too. So to my city, man, it ain't worth it, boy. Like it ain't worth it. Like me being a rapper from my city and Foolio being a rapper from our city, it ain't worth it. Like my mouth getting dry, sorry. Like the dissing, the beefing, the shooting, like for what? Like for what? Like when you sitting in your cell alone, cold, it's lonely as hell in that bit. Everybody leave you. Like nobody here for you. Like the ones that's your ride or die, your girlfriends, whoever you love, the only person there for you is your mother. And maybe like one friend, maybe, but it ain't worth it though, bro. It ain't worth it. I was 21 years old facing the death penalty. My only interactions with law enforcement was traffic tickets. Wake up next morning, I'm facing the death penalty. That's how quick life can change. It ain't worth it, bro. That's all. And sorry if I was nervous. Sorry.
No, it's okay, Mr. Chance. And thank you for saying that.
Yes.
Everybody gonna be nervous in that. Well, not everybody. Some people just out of their fucking minds. But no, this isn't the person that it says this the one that shot him in the and kept the bullets from the foot and spun back. Nah, it's not the same one. That's the light skinned one. I think that's is that Sean Gath, right? That's the light skinned one. This one actually isn't accused of being a shooter. This one's accused let me bring it up. Let me bring up the details in the background. This one's pretty much accused of like setting things up, which is why he believes that him and Shorty is comparable. Even though him and Shorty Shorty threw him under the bus crazy. He semi threw her under the bus a little bit here, but she all out like told on him, like just flat out in the trial. But his shit says, based on the prosecution's case, Isaiah Chance was not alleged to be one of the shooters. Instead, investigators and prosecutors portrayed him as one of the key organizers and trackers who helped to locate Julio Foolio and coordinate the ambush. So according to Tampa police and court testimony, Chance allegedly traveled from Jacksonville to Tampa with the group of people that was involved in the murder plot. He and his girlfriend, that's Shorty that threw him under the bus, Alicia Andrews, allegedly tracked Foolio's movements as he changed locations during his birthday weekend. Now, mind you, she even tried during her shit like, no, I'm just a girlfriend along for the ride and all this shit. And when we pulled up over here, I was asking for something to eat. I don't know what was going on and all that bullshit. The footage shows them getting out and tracking him though, like at the parties and all that as Foolio is moving around. So the footage and the evidence shows cap on her, but she tried it. You know what I'm saying? She tried it. Investigators say they followed Foolio to multiple locations and communicated with the others. Prosecutors described Chance and Andrews as scouts or lookouts who relayed Foolio's whereabouts. They was given the drops. All right. They was giving the drops. They was doing what they was doing. And obviously none of them should have got off. All right. 4 of them got life and Alicia got hit with something too. And once again, I forget if she's going back to trial again, but it let them learn their lesson. And he obviously started to talk about his lesson as well. You got life. And now he's talking about everybody already left him. Yeah, man. That's obviously a reality. 20 something years old, life ruined pretty much. That's it. It's over. All right. We got 2 more quick ones. I'm definitely not clipping this and putting this up. This is just a full episode where you'll see this. That's it. I'm not clipping this shit at all. Waka Flocka believes Plaqboy Max is being paid to push a certain narrative following a viral "Why don't men twerk" debate. So you know what narrative Waka's talking about, right? What's up with your man?
Walking the ground or doing some wild nut shit or twerking. Why don't we twerk? Now that I think about it, my nigga, why is twerk a gender neutral dance? Twerking is the only gender neutral dance. I'm tweaking? Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I never even thought about that shit. Like, that is the only gender neutral dance, bro. Everything else we share. If I'm stroking the ground or doing some wild nut shit or twerking, why do niggas
He basically just admit that he does it. He said, if I'm doing all this on the ground or if I'm twerking. By the way, why can't we twerk? Yo, he's sick. But yo, did anybody else peep it? Like if you look at him,
Why don't we?
it could be me. Why does his cheek look mad rosy, y'all? Like he's wearing makeup lately. His face is looking rosy like he's wearing makeup. Like I'm talking about like, you know what I'm saying? Like that red powdery fucking shit that women like. That's what looks like his face these days. And then they got the other clip that's going around of him with Young Thug. And he asked Young Thug, do you think I'm tripping because I had a vasectomy? And Young Thug's like, you're a fucking fool because he's like 20 something years old. He's like, you did that before you had kids. Now everybody live their life, make their decisions. Okay. But normally, I don't even want to say normally. That's a bad word. I don't want to get in trouble. Respectfully, I don't want to get in trouble. Commonly, from what I've heard, maybe that's the best way to put it. Commonly, from what I see, men that get vasectomies, it could be for a health reason, right? To avoid testicular cancer, or if you're already going through testicular cancer, something like that, or I believe that's like one of the common cases, or if you want to make sure you don't have any more kids. Or you get to a certain point in life where you're just like, oh, I can't make that mistake. Or you just that sexually type of, I don't use protection type of guy. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe like a porn star or some shit like that. Like these are the scenarios that make more sense. But to be like, however old this guy is, I don't know, 23, 24, something like that. Like he was going back and forth debating with Young Thug. And just doing it random, like, yeah, I did it. And I don't know, like, what do you think about it? If you got to ask people what they think about it, then your fucking mind wasn't matured enough to make the decision yet either. Now, if I wanted to sprawl this topic, which I'm not, because these shits be getting people in trouble, I would say when it comes to it being a certain age and making those type of decisions, that's why Boosie went at doing D-Wade. Because he was like, the child isn't old enough to have enough experience in life to have that type of decision that's irreversible. But I'm gonna leave that shit alone. I don't and not because of this. didn't follow Plaqboy Max. If he jumps in the headlines for something, we'll cover it. But he's not a streamer that I watch. Just like Aiden Ross, he's not a streamer that I watch. You know, and he's getting into these different areas where I'm just like, nah, far from my type of guy anyway. So it is what it is. All right, last but not least, Jay-Z. You see a lot of people was even doing the whole, he pops up at the Root Picnic Festival concert on stage with an afro. And it was like, what, the locks the whole time were fake, or what's all of this? I got a take as to why I thought this was cool for him and his wife, Beyonce, to do. Well, I got two takes as to why I think that this is real cool for him to do. Even I don't give a fuck about what the man does with his hair, but bear with me.
I used to rock a fro. So he wanted to rock a fro in his honor. First lock. Now, I wasn't all the way convinced that he would be able to comb out his locks, considering he had such thick, long wigs, and his hair had been locking for over 8 years. I thought it was always beautiful that the real reason Jay grew out his hair was to show Blue that her hair was like his hair. Let me rewind and tell you some backstory. Our daughter was about 5, and she wasn't feeling very confident about her hair at that time. When she told her father that, it inspired Jay to grow out his hair. We really wanted her to love and embrace every inch of her gorgeous curls. It also inspired Blue to be the voice of the award-winning book, Hair Love
by Matthew A. Cherry,
as well as songs like Formation, Baby Hair and Afros, and Brown Skin Girl. And who would have thunk? All of this healthy hair could grow beyond that low-cut Caesar with the deep waves.
What you doing, Blue?
I'm tangling his hair.
Thank you, baby.
This is history in the making.
The 5-year-old Blue had no idea that her father's hair had texture like hers.
Beautiful. Good morning. It's day 2 of removing Jay's locks.
Now, Jay took better care of his hair than any person I know. He gets his hair washed religiously. And honestly, has been one of Sacred's most loyal customers.
What you got going over here? Got that Indian.
His dad used to rock a...
All right, like I said, I could care less what the man does with his hair. But the two things that pique my take on this one is one, you know, the father element of it. Like, they have it documented as to why he locked his hair from when he didn't have the long dreads and shit. They have it already documented. The book that Blue did, like, that's shut down city. You know, like, as you just can't argue, can't debate that. And it's beautiful to see a father do that, you know, for his daughter's upcoming insecurities. Like, when I see the videos or the pictures of like the fathers or the mothers online, and like they have a child, like let's say that's going through chemotherapy, and they lose their hair during the chemotherapy process, and the parent shaves their hair to say, look, we look to say, don't feel like you're the only one walking around with a shaved head like that. Look, daddy shaved his head too. That shit is beautiful. That shit is beautiful when I see parents do that. You know what I'm saying? So that's the first thing where I'm just like, all right, I fuck with this video that Beyonce and Jay-Z put out. The second one, it shows the how thick Jay-Z's skin could be at times. We know that he comes out of Cloud9 and addresses things like once in a blue or once in a year, or when he got a big rollout or something like that. But he allows himself to take a lot of shots year after year after year. He's been growing his hair for how fucking long? You got another Titan, 50 Cent, that's been saying you got locked. You chose to do this to mimic Basquiat, you know, a homosexual artist or painter or whatever, all these years, to the point where I believed that. I was like, there got to be an interview or something that 50's honing in on that Jay-Z put out there. Like, yeah, I idolize Basquiat or something like that. Because we know Jay-Z always talks about having these super expensive paintings in the house and all that shit. So I was like, yo, 50, he got him with that one. Like, yeah, Jay, why did you choose this guy? You know, Rockefeller died from AIDS. That was the end of his chapter. That's the after. I rock hoes, y'all rock fellas type shit. Like, damn, Jay. Careful with the way you name your company, or you know what I'm saying? Yeah, the people you idolize. Like, but it's documented. Now, y'all let 50 Cent, who's a mega platform, run around saying that I'm chasing behind this homosexual guy or whatever. This whole time I did it for my daughter. That's a hit. That's a hit. That's a hit. All right. Oh shit, we under an hour. All right, I like that. Full episode here for RBE channel, since we led with a battle rap topic, and that was the longest topic. Once again, for anybody that didn't catch the last full episode, just to let y'all know, if you see the full episode on the other channel, the Sorry It's True podcast channel, the link is also in the description. It's because we lead with Sorry It's True topics, and those be the bigger and the majority of the full episode. And some of these get clipped depending on the channel, of course, but that's where you'll find the full episodes based on, you know, the majority of the video and what the lead biggest topics are. So since we led and battle rap was the biggest topic, you know, I did it on the RBE channel. So you got to subscribe and cut your notifications on for both. The lives are migrating back in on both channels, as you guys see. So thank you, everybody, for the support and the keeping up with things. We back ASAP. All right. Let me know your comments for each of these topics below, and we'll follow up ASAP. I got you.
Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss making decisions, my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I drop it, connected to block, learn Tetris.
One of the toughest characters ever to bulldog his way
Welcome
into
to the house
your
of. And shout out to them.
Without my, he still got a gun.